Video lecture prepared by N. Markandeya, lecturer in chemistry, Dr. BRR Government Degree College, Jadcherla, Department of Chemistry. So topic is amino acids and proteins for BSc third year, 6th semester, paper 7. See here. So topic is determination of peptide structure. Determination of peptide structure. The primary structure of peptide is its constitution and it corresponds to its amino acid sequence and also disulfide links if any present. So determination of structure of a peptide means finding the sequence of amino acid in it. The second one, finding the N terminus of amino acid. And the third one is finding the C terminus of amino acids. So finding of these three, so we can determine the structure of peptide. So determination of the structure of peptide means first one is finding the sequence of amino acid. So second one is the finding the N terminus. Third one is finding the C terminus. See here. So for example, take the any amino acid NH2, CHR, CONH, CHR, COOH. This left side part is the N terminus and the right side COOH group contain group is the C terminus. So for the determination of structure we can find the sequence of amino acids. So which amino acid is first, second, next, second, third, that we can find the sequence of amino acids and finding the N terminus. So N terminus formed which amino acid and C terminus formed by which amino acids we have to find. So here finding the sequence of amino acid. First one, the first step here is to find out the constituent amino acids in the unknown peptide and also their relative amount. For this, the unknown peptide is subjected to acid catalyzed hydrolysis by heating in 6 molar HCl for 24 hours. For the finding the sequence of amino acids, the unknown peptide or unknown polypeptide is subjected to acid catalyzed hydrolysis by heating in 6 molar HCl for 24 hours. The amide bonds are cleaved and the original amino acids of the peptide are formed. This mixture is separated by ion exchange chromatography. Here the amino acid from the mixture are mostly separated according to their acid base properties and to lesser extent on the basis of the lyophilic properties of their side chains. So for the finding sequence of amino acids, we can take the unknown polypeptide. This unknown polypeptide is hydrolyzed by HCl catalyst. So then the amino acids are cleaved and form a original amino acids of peptides are formed. So this forming amino acid mixture is separated by ion exchange chromatography. By using the ion exchange chromatography, we can separate the mixture of amino acids. Here the amino acids from the mixture are mostly separated according to their acid base properties and to lesser extent on the basis of the lyophilic properties of their side chains. So we can separate the amino acid mixtures by ion exchange chromatography. So by this method we can find the sequence of amino acids in a peptide, in a polypeptide or peptides. Next, second one, finding the N terminus. Finding the N terminus DNP method. This is known as a Sanger method. This method was introduced by S. Sanger. In this peptide chain is treated with DNFB, that is 2,4 dinitrofluorobenzene. See here, this is DNFB, 2,4 dinitrofluorobenzene. So this is known as a Sanger's reagent. This is known as a Sanger's reagent. So in this peptide chain is treated with 2,4 dinitrofluorobenzene, which undergoes nucleophilic substitution by the free amino group to give an N-dinitrophenyl derivative. So the abbreviated is DNP, N-dinitrophenyl derivative. Complete hydrolysis of the DNP peptide with acid gives yellow DNP derivative of the N-terminal residue together with free amino acids, which can be identified by chromatography. So in this, take the peptide, so react with the Sanger's reagent, so that is a 2,4 dinitrofluorobenzene to form a DNP peptide, DNP derivative or DNP peptide. So this forming DNP peptide, which is hydrolyzed in the presence of acid to form a free amino acids. So the DNP derivative of most of the amino acids have been prepared and characterized. The DNP method cannot be used repeatedly since its use requires complete hydrolysis of the DNP derivative. See here this reaction. This is the 2,4 dinitrofluorobenzene. This is known as a Sanger's reagent. Sanger's reagent react with the peptide. So this peptide contain 3 amino acids, that means a tripeptide. So form this NH group react with the Sanger's reagent and formed the N-dinitrophenyl derivative, this N-nitrophenyl derivative. So this N-nitrophenyl derivative completely hydrolysis of the DNP peptide with gives a yellow DNP peptide, yellow DNP derivative of N-terminal residue. So this forms a N-terminal residue of DNP derivative and remains the free amino acids. These are the second amino acids, these are the third amino acids. First amino acid is DNP residue. This is known as terminal amino acids. So by finding the N terminus, the peptide bond can react with the Sanger's reagent. Next is third one. So analysis of the C terminus, that means a enzymatically method. So see here C terminus terminal analysis is carried out even more efficiently by enzymatic method, so rather than by chemical method. Hello? అన్న చెప్పు. ఈరోజా? ఓకే 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 అన్న, థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఓకే, టోకెన్ నెంబర్ ఇచ్చినావుగా. సరే సర్లే. ఓకే 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 అన్న, థ్యాంక్ యూ థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఓకే. So C-terminus analysis is carried out even more efficiently by enzymatic method rather than by chemical method. The enzyme is carboxypeptidase. The carboxypeptidase enzyme cleaves selectively the peptide linkage adjacent to C-terminal. That means free carboxylic group in polypeptide chain. The removal of C-terminal residue results in the formation of shortened polypeptide chain, so which can be treated with carboxypeptidase enzyme to determine new C-terminal. So under favorable conditions, the 3 or 4 amino acid residues can be identified. See here, C-terminal analysis is carried out even more efficiently by enzymatic method. Here, the carboxypeptidase enzyme so cleavage the selectivity of the peptide linkage adjacent to C-terminus. See here, this is the peptide chain NHCHR dash CONH CHR2 CONH bond CH. This is the polypeptide or peptide bond, polypeptide. So in this polypeptide, this is the C terminus. This right side part, right side last amino acids is known as a C terminal. So this is react with the carboxypeptidase. When this carboxypeptidase enzyme attacked this CONH group, this cleavage the CONH group, so and to form a free terminal amino acids. Then so new C terminal amino acids will form. Then new terminal amino acids will form. Then it is also react with the again 1 mole carboxypeptidase. It will cleavage like here. So and this next free amino acids will form. Then so one more new carboxy terminus will form like that. So we can form a free amino acids. This is the analysis of this C terminus. This is the enzymatically cleavage of peptides. See here, next topic is peptide synthesis. See here, peptides are polyamides and can be synthesized by the stepwise condensation in which the amino group of one amino acid is condensed with the carboxylic group of a second amino acid. So generally peptides will form the two or more amino acids in this condensation. So amino group of one amino acids react with the carboxylic group of second amino acids. So next the condensation reaction takes place until a desired polypeptide chain is obtained. So desired polypeptide chain is obtained. See here, the process of peptide synthesis is complicated because self condensation of 2 moles of same amino acids takes place. So some complicated is there. So the self condensation of 2 molecule of same amino acids take place. To overcome this difficulty, the amino groups or carboxylic groups are protected or blocked by converted into substituted amino or substituted carboxylic groups. See here. So when phenylalanine and glycine, so both are condensed to form a, so generally phenylglycine dipeptide. So but here, so expect to four possible peptides like, so phenyl and glycine both are combined to form a phenylglycine dipeptide. This is we wanted dipeptide, and phenyl react with the 1 mole. So self condensation takes place, a phenylalanine dipeptide, and glycine also takes place, self condensation to form a glycine dipeptide. So and third one is the glycine and phenylalanine dipeptide. 4 peptides are possible for phenylalanine and glycine amino acids. So but we want the only, so phenylalanine glycine dipeptide. So by forming the wanted dipeptide, we can protect the amine group and COOH group by substitutions. Okay. So here the peptide synthesis consists of 3 steps. One is here protection of amino group or carboxylic group. Second one is the condensation. Third one is the removal of protecting group. See here, A first one, peptide synthesis by protecting amino group. So protection of amino group of amino acid. See here, this is done by treating the amino acids which will form N terminus of the peptide with a protecting agent. This agent condenses with the amino group of acid and forms a N-protected amino acids. These groups convert NH2 group into some other group of low nucleophilicity. See here, commonly used protecting agents are, see here, benzyloxycarbonyl group. Second one is the tertiary butoxycarbonyl group. Here first one, benzyloxycarbonyl chloride is treated with amino group in presence of NaOH at 25 degrees centigrade. See here in benzyloxycarbonyl chloride. So formula is C6H5CH2O, C double bond O, Cl. So it react with the alpha amino acids in presence of sodium hydroxide and at 25 degrees centigrade. So by removing of HCl, it will react with the NH2 group. See here, it will react with the NH2 group. So this forming compound is known as a protected amino acid. So we can protect the NH2 group by using benzyloxycarbonyl chloride substitute. Second one is the ditertiary butyl dicarbonate is treated with alpha amino acid in presence of triethylamine. See here, this is the CH3 taken 3 CO, COO, COCO, CH3 taken 3 di, tertiary butyl dicarbonate. So is treated with alpha amino acids in presence of triethylamine to form a tertiary butoxycarbonyl amino acid. Here also this NH2 group of amino acids protected by this ditertiary butyl dicarbonate derivative. So these two substitutions are the used for the protection of NH2 group of amino acids. So next one, protecting carboxylic group. The carboxylic group is in amino acid is protected by the formation of its ester. Generally COOH group is protected by the formation of ester. Here alpha amino acids react with the methyl alcohol to form a methyl ester, or this alpha amino acid react with the ethyl alcohol, so to form a ethyl ester, or alpha amino acids react with the benzyl alcohol to form a benzyl ester. So we can convert the acid group to ester group by reacting methyl alcohol or ethyl alcohol or benzyl alcohol. See here, so these amino acids react with the benzyl alcohol, so in presence of HCl, so here benzyl ester will form. So alcohol and acid, so both are undergoes to form a ester. So by this reaction we can protect the COOH group. So see next point, in NH2 protected amino acid and carboxylic group can be activated by treating with thionyl chloride. In NH2 protected amino acid, the carboxylic group can be activated by treating with thionyl chloride. See here, so this is the protected amino acid. So this is react with the thionyl chloride SOCl2, it will form a acid chloride. See here, by SO2 and minus HCl, this form a benzene CH2OCO NHCHR COCl. This is the benzyl oxy carbonyl amino acid chloride. So this amino acid amine group protected amino acid is activated by treating with the thionyl chloride. Now see the synthesis steps. Steps 1, protection of amino acid by benzyl oxy carbonyl chloride. This is the first protection of NH2 group. Next, activation of COOH group by conversion of COOH to COCl of protection amino acid by treating with thionyl chloride. This is the second step. Next, third one is the formation of peptide bond. So this activated thionyl chloride of protected amino acid, so react with the second mole of amino acids to form a peptide bond. See here, fourth step is the removal of protecting group to form a reduction by hydrogen and palladium. See here the next first reactions. So this is the benzyl oxy carbonyl group react with the amino acids. So here NH2 group is protected by this benzyl oxy group. So this is react with this thionyl chloride. So this activated form is formed. This is corresponding the acid chloride. Then this is react with the second mole of amino acids, that is alanine. So by removing of water molecule, so to form this amino acid. So this protected NH2 group amino acid. So this is react with the hydrogen in presence of palladium, removal of protecting groups to form a free amino acids. That means So toluene and glycylalanine or glycylalanine dipeptide. So in the same way, dipeptide can be converted into tripeptide, so on. In the same way, dipeptide can be converted into tripeptide and so on. This is the peptide synthesis. See here, second peptide synthesis is Bruce-Merrifield automated peptide synthesis. Bruce-Merrifield automated peptide synthesis. This is the second peptide synthesis. Here, see here, B.R. Merrifield in 1964 devised a method for peptide synthesis called the solid phase peptide synthesis. This is the solid phase synthesis peptide. So discovered by the R.B. Merrifield. Synthesis is carried out on the surface of polystyrene, in which some of the benzenes are chloromethylated. So in polystyrene, some of the benzene rings are chloromethylated. See here, this is the polystyrene polymer ClCH2, chloromethylated polystyrene structure, this one. Here see the preparation steps. First step is protection of NH2 group of first amino acid. Protection of NH2 group of first amino acids by using tertiary butoxycarbonyl chloride. Second one, attachment of BOC amino acid. So with polystyrene polymer in presence of triethylamine at 80 degrees centigrade in ethyl alcohol. Next, third one is deprotection of NH2 group. That means removal of BOC. BOC means tertiary butoxycarbonyl chloride. So in the presence of trifluoroacetic acid and triethylamine. Next, fourth one is coupling of second BOC amino acid with polymer bound first amino acids in the presence of DCC. Here DCC is dicyclohexyl carbadiimide. See here the structure of DCC. N double bond C double bond N, like that. This is the DCC, dicyclohexyl carbodiimide. So this coupling of second BOC amino acid with polymer bound first amino acid in the presence of DCC. Next, fifth one, deprotection of NH2 group. That means removal of BOC in presence of trifluoroacetic acid, triethylamine. Next, repetition of step 4 and step 5. Step 4 means coupling of second BOC amino acids with polymer bound first amino acids and deprotection of NH2 group, removal of BOC. This repetition of step 4 and 5th. Next, last one, removal of polymer to form a free polypeptide results in the presence of HBr in cold acetic acid conditions. See here, this is the DCC structure. dicyclohexyl carbodiimide. This is the tertiary BOC, tertiary butoxy carbonyl chloride. This is the tertiary butoxy group. This is tertiary butoxy group carbonyl chloride. So abbreviate as a tertiary BOC. See here, first one, tertiary BOC react with the first mole of amino acid. First mole of amino acid. So then protection of NH2 group takes place. Protection of NH2 group takes place. This NH2 group react with the tertiary butoxy carbonyl chloride by removing of HCl, like HCl. So this is known as a first BOC amino acids. First tertiary butoxy carbonyl amino acid. Second one, this first BOC amino acid treated with polymer. Polymer, that means chloromethylated polystyrene. Chloromethylated polystyrene. See here, by removing of here HCl. So here H is there, HCl. So ester will form in presence of triethylamine at 80 degrees centigrade in the presence of ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol. So here first amino acid NH2 group is protected by tertiary butoxy carbonylamine, and the COOH groups also protected by polymer. COOH groups also protected by polymer. Finally, ester linkage will takes place. Ester linkage will takes place. See, this ester linkage compound treated with trifluoroacetic acid in presence of triethylamine to removal of BOC. To removal of BOC here. So removal of BOC takes place. Removal of BOC takes place. Then form a free NH2 group. Then form a free NH2 group. That means first BOC amino acids with polymer. First BOC amino acids with polymer with free NH2 group. So here free NH2 group. Here NH2 group is free. Next, fourth one. So second amino acids also react with the tertiary butoxy carboxylic carbonyl group. It is form a second BOC amino acid. The second BOC amino acids treated with the DCC, dicyclohexyl carbodiimide. So it will reaction takes place. See here, this carbon and nitrogen. Here nitrogen is more electronegative. This pi electrons attracted by nitrogen, and this O minus react with the carbon. So to form this type of compound BOC NHCHR2 COO. So and here second amino acid compound, this one. See here, this second amino acid NH2 and COOH group protected compound react with the first BOC amino acids with polymer. First BOC amino acid with polymer. So to form this peptide bond. So here, so second amino acid carboxylic acid group and first two amino acids NH2 group, both are condensed to form a peptide bond. Peptide bond. So this peptide bond contain this N-terminal acid with BOC and C-terminal acid with polymer. C-terminal acid with polymer. So see here, next point, deep protection of NH2 group. So this N and COOH group protected peptide bond compound treated with the trifluoroacetic acid in the presence of triethylamine. So removal of BOS of this group, removal of BOS of this group, and then form a free NH2 group. Next, this free NH2 group formed compound. So step 4 and 5 are repeated. So to form this compound, this NH2 CHR double dash C double bond O NHCHR CO NHCHR. This is first amino acid, this is second amino acid. This amino group is so repeated for any polypeptide compounds. So with a polymer, contain the polymer. So this compound is treated with HBr in acetic acid. So HBr in acetic acid. So removal of polymer. This polymer is removed and form a pre-polypeptide. Removed by removal of polymer. That means BrCH2 Br. So this group. So form a pre-polypeptide. So like this we can synthesize the polypeptide. So this method is known as a Merrifield automated peptide synthesis. Okay, this is the peptide synthesis. Okay, in this synthesis, these steps are very, very important. First step is protection of NH2 group of first amino acid. So with a tertiary butoxy carbonyl chloride, and the second one attachment of BOC amino acids with polystyrene polymer in presence of tertiary ethylamine at 80 degrees centigrade. So in the ethyl alcohol condition. Next, then deprotonation of NH2 group, removal of BOC in presence of tetrafluoroacetic acid and triethylamine. Next, coupling of second BOC amino acids with polymer bound first amino acid in the presence of DCC. So next, protection of this NH2 group, removal of BOC CF3COOH in presence of triethylamine. So repetition of step 4 and 5. So that means step 4 is coupling of second BOC amino acids with polymer react with the first amino acid in presence of DCC. Second one is next deprotonation of NH2 group. So this fourth and fifth steps are so repeated to form a so polypeptide groups with polymer. So this can be treated with HBr in cold acetic acid condition. So then we can form a free polypeptide and so polymer. So these are the two methods so for the synthesis of peptides. So by using peptide synthesis by protection of amino group and COOH group, and the second one is the so solid phase peptide synthesis. Solid phase peptide synthesis is known as a Merrifield automated peptide synthesis. These two are the peptide synthesis methods. So here first one is the determination of, repeat once again, determination of peptide structure. The determination of peptide structures are three types. Finding the sequence of amino acid, and the finding the N terminus by using the Sanger's reagent that is known as a 2,4 dinitropluoropenzene, and the third one is the analysis of C terminus by enzymatically. Next one is the peptide synthesis. These are the methods. So by okay, thank you.